Hello, everybody. It's Gloria from Gigi the Crochet Queen. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you, Dr. Katrina, for your continued membership, and for all of my new subscribers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And for my returning subscribers, thank you for returning, and welcome to you as well. So, what is? Oh, I left all my little notes. Hopefully, I'll remember something. Hey, Shatika, how are you today? Thank you for joining me. Good evening to you and blessings. What are you working on? What's your weather like? It is 87. 87. Which color is this? Lavender. So I had my whatnot sale today and nothing sold. So I will do it again on Tuesday. Guess I got to put myself out there more. And in the meantime, I will be working on some more American Doll girl clothes. Trying to get myself situated. So I am working on something for myself for my birthday, but I will hopefully get it finished so I can reveal it on my birthday. Oh, of course, I would turn it the wrong way. This has been a long day. I went to the training camp today. I don't think today was the first day for the public, but it was our first day. And they changed the hours. It used to be 10 to 12. Now it's 9 to 11. So I have to drag myself up out of the bed a little earlier. But I think it's cooler, considering it's already 80-something degrees by the time we get out there. But I think it's cooler for the, a little cooler for the players. I don't think I want to be out there in that hot sun. But that's why they make millions, and I don't. and I'm not a man either. Even if I hope they never bring back that lingerie football thing. Hope they never bring it back. I don't know if it's still going on, but I haven't seen commercials, so I'm hoping that it never comes back. I know they have a flag football with the girls a couple of weeks. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I didn't watch it. I don't know where we were. My friend and I, we were somewhere. Why can't I think? Where was that? Last week? And we went for her lunch, for her brunch. Oh yeah, maybe it was Sunday. We went for brunch. And they had the television on, and they were doing the flag football, and there was girls doing the flag football too. But no lingerie. Please, no lingerie football ever again. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, and I don't know why those ladies thought it was a good idea, but I guess that the money was good, but nope, keep that. Man, I need to get some of this stuff out of here. Ooh, okay. Okay, nobody is there. If you want to watch some great documentaries, Netflix has them. They have one that's called Trainwreck. I was kept saying it was shipwreck because the first one that I watched was about a ship, but it's actually called Trainwreck. It's pretty good. I've seen some really interesting stuff. Yeah, that's right. Okay. When you put things down and then you pick it back up again, you forget exactly what you were doing. Especially when you have other things in your head and you're going from one project to the next. I guess I will be on here by myself. I need to put this, I'll put this here. Just don't want to get tangled with other yarn. There, that works. This has been a long week. Long week. Like all of them, they seem to go on forever and ever and ever and ever. Like on the hamster wheel. And my lawn man didn't come today. And I don't know if he sent me a text that he wasn't coming today. Nope. He did not. Just see he's missing in action. Yeah, if no one shows up, I'll be off of here faster than I thought I'd be on here. I don't even think that made sense. Anywho, we shall see. I watched the several documentaries. And I found my all-time favorite show, The Deadliest Catch on Hulu. So I'm going to catch up on the old seasons, not the new ones. And Project Runway is going to start on the 31st. I think it's the 31st. So I'm excited to see that. It looks like they're bringing, it's not an all-star, but one of the guys that's back on there has been on other shows. So I don't know. But I like that show. And thank you for the lurkers that popped in and then popped out. Hope you did a thumbs up before you left. I have to get, and yet another thing is not working is the dryer, and it's a Samsung dryer. I don't know if it's I can't even remember how long I've had it, so I don't think I should be complaining, but I am, because I do not feel like fixing yet another thing. I have a plate full of things to fix. So I'm going to call it. I posted it on the Ring app for some suggestions. One person says they're garbage. Theirs has been fixed 3 times, and then the 4th time they said they threw it out, and they had the belt. The belt was the issue too, so that sounds real scary. Hey Melanie, how are you today? Ooh, no Samsung. I know. Now I'm finding that out. But be as it may, I'm stuck with it right now. I'm going to get the belt, see if that's really the issue. And if it doesn't work out, if it doesn't work, then I'll just go find me a Maytag or a Whirlpool. I don't know how good LG is. That might be another, but definitely no more Samsung. When that refrigerator stops working again, I'm just going to go and get a different one. I'm over it too. Hey, Divergent Crafter, how are you today? Thank you for joining me. My oven and fridge are off. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm just going to stick with hopefully finding something that lasts a little bit long. Well, I can't. Well, the refrigerator definitely. I'm definitely not going to get another one of those because the ice maker stopped working. I think the first year that I had it. And then it worked some time, and then it stopped working again. And I don't know if it stopped working because, which it still shouldn't. I mean, long as there's ice in there. I don't know. I'm not a mechanic, so I just I had a refrigerator that was I don't know how long I had that. I had to have had that refrigerator, and the only reason why I think it eventually conked out is because of the hurricanes and the I was without power for 10 days, and then when it came on, I think it froze, and so I had to get someone to come and fix that. Did something else happen to it? I'm trying to remember. Why did something had to have happened that I would go out and get another refrigerator, but I can't remember. I'm just over it all. Service blows. Oh, well, shot. Oh, typed the whole message. It disappeared. Oh, my goodness. And everything is so expensive, and you don't know. If, like the guy that came and did the refrigerator, I think he charged me $250. And he came the first time he came. Then did he come back a second day and then with another guy? But anyway, it says stay away from GE unless it is an American-made model because their customer service. Oh, okay. It's always something now. Always something. Just don't know who to turn to anymore. I'll keep my Samsung phone, but they can best believe I am not buying not a nary one of their appliances ever again. And when I got the washer and dryer, well, I know it's got to be at least 5 years ago. At least. We're going to say it's been at least 5 years. G used to be the best. Yeah. I think all of these companies are going to crap. I want to say it had to be like maybe 6 months I had it. I don't know. But I got a sticker in the mail that I needed to put on the washer because apparently there's a setting that's just for what's the waterproof stuff or bedding. And I guess it was causing a ruckus with the machine. So they sent everybody that had one, they sent the sticker to put on there so you know which which settings was for bedding. I don't know. Crazy. But I think I had it probably about 6 months when that happened. But I know it's got to be like 5 years. My previous washer, I think it was Whirlpool. I had that thing so long, it looks so pitiful. It was all rusting and stuff, but it still worked. But it just looks so bad. I don't know. I think I must have got one because it just looked really bad. I don't know if they actually stopped working, but I don't think they did. But I can't remember. It's just a chess game. I feel like with these appliances. And I was looking for a stove, and I was at BrandSmart. I don't know if you have a BrandSmart in your area, but I was like, I don't like any of these stoves. There was like the oven didn't look like it was deep enough on some of them. Then some had the knobs and some had the buttons, and most of them were flat. There was no, I have that now, the flat thing. I was tired of looking. My grandmother had the same washing machine from my childhood until I was in my 30s. I don't know where those days are, but they don't exist anymore. This is like the throwaway. This is the throwaway generation, I guess. Nothing seems to last as long. I remember when we first got, my ex-husband and I first got the house, and we got the refrigerator because the people that had the refrigerator, that left the refrigerator in the house, because I think in Florida, maybe in all the states, appliances have to be left in the house unless you make a deal with the seller or whatever. And I think the first time we saw the house, the refrigerator, maybe we never opened up the refrigerator. And then when we opened it, the shelvings were broke. It's like, oh my goodness. And the realtor says, oh, they want to know if you want the lawnmower. We're like, yeah, we want the lawnmower. The lawnmower was from the 50s, I'm guessing. I don't know. I've never seen a lawnmower. It wasn't gas. It was just that little push thing that just cuts the grass as you push it. It's like, okay, we got the short end of the stick, but that refrigerator was a mess. So we actually got the refrigerator, and it was a side-by-side from Sears eons ago. And it lasted, it got to be like close to 25 years, I think. I'm guessing. I am guessing. I think it had to be about 25 years because my daughter, I don't think she was even born. It should be 31 in August. Yes. And I think it's been like at least 4 or 5 years I've had that refrigerator. I can't stand it. Hey, Vicki, how are you today? Thank you for joining me, and I hope you get a thumbs up. Cheap to operate. The throwaway. I call it the throwaway. Everything gets thrown away, and we don't have enough land to be throwing away all the stuff that we throw away. In Miami, they're having a big debate because their landfill caught on fire. I don't even know where it was, but wherever it was, for some reason, they didn't want to rebuild on that site. So then they were going back and forth with the city that's in my county, that's close to Miami. They wanted to put it in their county, and their mayor was like, no, you're not. And then another part of Miami was like, no, you're not. So I don't even know where they finally decided to. But my thought is, in the meantime, where's all your garbage going? Because it's got to go somewhere. So I don't know where they're taking it to, but we have near me, there's a landfill. And there's always some protesting that I see on the Ring app. People are protesting because apparently they call it the Monarch Hill. They can't stand it. Then the one that's in Lantana, I don't know, because you can see it if you go down 95. You can see the one in Lantana. Is it 95 or the Turnpike? No, I can't remember. I think it's the Turnpike. Yeah, I think it's the Turnpike. Either the Turnpike or 95. One of them, you can see it. I don't know. Throw away. We just throw away way too much stuff. That's why I try to hold on to stuff until it's really not usable anymore. We're going to all be consumed by the garbage. I don't know what they do with all that garbage. I know some of it gets burned because you can smell it. And I don't know what they do with all the other stuff. We used to have separate recycling bins. We had a garbage, and then we had the recycling bin. And then I guess somewhere along the line, it was like, we're not doing this anymore. And now we have one big old garbage can, and everything goes into it. The old electronics shouldn't be thrown away. All that junk in the batteries isn't safe for a landfill. I know it. I know. I watched the documentary about Amazon. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If you haven't watched it, it is very, very, very good information, and it is very scary information. They talk about the electronics, how they could track where those electronic things land. All of the clothing that we throw out, it all ends up in Africa somewhere on their beaches. And I'm like, this is crazy. And they show the people that are taking apart the electronics and stuff. And, it's got all that stuff in there. And so some people have on their, it's one thing I learned from that, other than it's a hot mess and it's a disaster waiting to happen with all of us, is the one lady says, how, Amazon is a clickbait thing. They always showing you, trying to get you to get this, get that. And she says, if you want something, put it in your cart and let it stay there for 30 days. And if you still want it after 30 days, then buy it. I was like, that's good. That's a smart one. We have 3, and they tell you what to put in each, and we'll find you. Oh my goodness. You thought the wrong thing in the wrong. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Hey, Diane, how are you today? Thank you for joining me. That is crazy. That's what they do. That's their way of, I guess, making money off of us. But it doesn't matter. I mean, all of this, quote unquote, and when you watch the documentaries and they tell you that like only of the stuff that's quote unquote recycled, only 10% of it is reusable, is recycled. And most of it is pretty much the plastic, because the plastic can be those that Room to Go commercial with the twins, their modular thing, that's made out of, if I'm not mistaken, it's made from plastic bottles. So that's pretty much all the stuff that they, all that other stuff, I don't know. I don't know where it all goes to. It's just a scary thought. Nobody wants any of these landfills in their neighborhoods, but where are you gonna put them? Where are you going to put them? Just never ends. Always something. And then the waters get contaminated with all the stuff. That's why they try to get rid of certain companies, want to have deregulation so they can do what they want to do and not be fined for contaminating our water and air and soil. That's all that stuff. As they say, you are what you eat. And then when they start to contaminate water and soil and the animals, we are what we eat. That's why I'm trying to do my own little garden. One day I'm going to get it right. I think we should go back to glass bottles. Glass bottles mostly can be recycled. But the thing is, they break all the time. Whoever thought of this plastic, they've gone full. You rarely see a lot of bottles. Most of the stuff is in plastic. Like DuPont and Nestle, who poisoned us already. Yep, they did. And want to do it again. And you think about, and some days when I'm drinking water, we're having a battle here because now they want to get rid of fluoride. I guess that's around the country. They want to take the fluoride out of the water. And I'm thinking to myself, and then Morgan and Morgan has, is it Morgan and Morgan? One of these law firms has the thing about the some chemicals, forever chemicals. That's what they call them. I think that's what it's called, forever chemicals that's in the water that could have caused this and caused that. And I always say, as much contamination that's on our foods, in our animals that we eat, if you buy it from a grocery store, I don't even care if it says organic, because there's still, most of that stuff comes from the same places. So unless you went out there and watched those people at that particular farm and you knew it came from that particular farm, that's why they can track stuff, because they are supposed to put that information so that it can be tracked. Like when they have the listeria and E. coli breakouts and stuff, they can pretty much track where that stuff came from. But it's very scary that we trust that things are going to be done right. It's like when they had the peanut farm with the peanut butter that killed a lot of people, and the factory was absolutely disgusting. But the person that owned it, he didn't want to do anything about it, because there's a lot of times it's profit over people, and it shouldn't be that way. But a lot of times that's the way it is. Buying from farmers market isn't a guarantee. Yep, because some of them folks buy from commercial farms and sell. Yep. That's why I say, you quote unquote pay the extra money because it's supposed to be organic. Not always guaranteed. That's why you should always, always wash that stuff. Always. All those triple wash things, just don't know. You just don't know. We take we put our trust in these companies and hope that they do right by us. That's all you can do. That's these. We have to eat. And we are, majority of us are not on acres and acres and acres of land where you can grow your own food or raise your own animals or whatever. And who wants to do that? We're a country of what's the word? Not efficiency, convenience. Hey, Brianna, how are you today? Thank you for joining me, and I hope you get a thumbs up. How is it on your end of South Florida? Have you started crocheting yet? I crochet so I don't kill people. Keeps my hands busy. And we're going to have a food shortage soon anyway. And when food is short, prices are high. I said, I guess I'm going to be a bean. Oh, I stopped doing that. I was supposed to keep doing that. I was supposed to buy myself dry beans each time I go to the grocery store, but I forgot. I got to get back to that. Convenience and capitalism. You got it. Used to be the government agencies made sure of that somewhat, but those are being shrunk, if not completely shut down. That is for sure. It was a nice day out, and yes, I'm struggling trying to crochet a tank top. Oh, you just went straight to a wearable. I crochet that. I I think it is on a t-shirt. Something like that is on a t-shirt. I don't know if those exact words are on there, but I think it is on a t-shirt. You went straight to a wearable, girl. All right. I want to see it when you finish it. I guess I could have gone straight to a wearable. I was just doing blankets. And now I know how to just do that same thing, what I was doing as a blanket, and make it into something wearable. The struggle monster is real. When we went, my friend and I went to Dolphins training camp today. Two of the players hurt. I'm more motivated to make something I need. I'm also trying to make a dress, but I had to order yarn. Where'd you get the yarn from? I've seen cute granny stitch stuff sweaters with one huge granny square. Yep. Yeah, those are that's Jeanette's thing. She loves granny squares. There's another guy, Fiber Spider. That's what he does. I don't think I've ever seen anything. I don't think I've ever. No, I take that back. He made a rabbit because I actually did that rabbit. Let me see. What else has he done this? Oh, he did the virus shawl that I tried to do and I gave up on it. Michael's Loops and Threads. I mean, we have a quack making medical. Girl. Girl. Making people so maybe they can grow food from uranium. Ooh, severe arrow, girl. She ain't said but a word. Straight nut. 35% off. That's a good one. Now, what are you going to do with that? Because loops and have you? Okay. Let me see. What you going to do? Okay. Okay, so you're going to use the loops and threads for a dress. Now, mind you, it's going to be hot, girl. And I have loops and threads. I think loops and threads is, well, I know for sure it's a thicker 4-weight yarn than what's the name of it? Big Twist. A cotton dress, hopefully. Yeah. There's a lot of cute. When I watch the YouTubers and they make all these cute little outfits in the acrylic yarn, and all I keep saying to myself, I'm gonna be so hot, I can't do it. I made that cardigan dress, and I wore it one time. Yeah, I only wore it once when I went to the Black Girls Craft Conference in Atlanta a gazillion years ago. That was actually during the pandemic but it was cute, and I wore it that one time and haven't worn it since. And it is, and I went, it was in October, so it was a little cool. so it wasn't too bad. But I have a lot of that first what is that? Charlotte, what'd she call that shawl? I'm that top? Viva. I think it's Viva top. I think that's what she called it. I made it in acrylic yarn. Whew. I wore that thing, and it was our quote unquote winter time, but Lord, I was about to pass out with that thing on. It has no sleeves or anything. It's just a little top throw over. But that acrylic yarn was kicking my butt. Mm-mm-mm. I was going to ask for cotton or acrylic because acrylic, I would die of heat exhaustion. Yeah, I'm not playing with acrylic. Pass. Yep. Oh, she said, what? Wait, sorry, I'm nosy. Yeah, this what I'm working on is all cotton yarn. And it's so heavy. It is so heavy. But I figure I am going to be so cool in it. I and when I got, because it's 100% cotton, and then I was looking at, I don't know what I was looking at, but anyway, they had a cotton blend. I have a cotton blend of comfy cotton. Comfy cotton is a cotton blend. Did I make something with that? I think I've started things with it and just never finished anything. So I can't remember. Oh, I did make a top. I made a top. The top was supposed to be a dress, but I got tired of doing it, so it became just a top. And it was made with that the comfy cotton yarn, and it was quite, yeah, it was really nice. It didn't make me really hot. So, but that's what I should have done. I should have gotten some cotton blend, and it wouldn't be quite as heavy as this is. But it's all cotton because I just did not want to be hot. My cotton is, wait for it. If I got the wrong thing, don't tell me. You can do that. I have 4-weight cotton. I usually, what do I use my 4-weight cotton for? See all that back there where that spool is and across, that's all 4-weight cotton back there. I usually use it. Oh, I take that green. I use that green. I made my halter top last year for my birthday. It was very, very nice. Very. Now my little chunky butt can't get into it now comfortably. I can get into it, but it's not as comfortable as it was last year. I love that thing. It came out so nice. The 4-weight is good for first project, but as you get comfy, I suggest going down, yeah, in the 3 weights, in the weights, so you get better drape and cooler. Yeah. What's your address again? Whose address? Oh, you want to come get me? I got it now. It just clicked to me. Come on, join me. I have I have 1 weight, 2 weights, 3 weights, 4 weights of cotton. Then acrylic, I got a whole bunch of everything. I have some polyester. I have the crochet thread, the t-shirt yarn, which I need to look in there to see if I have. Oh, there's more hats. I know I have more hats somewhere. I think I'm going to do a $10 hats, a $10 beanie sale on Whatnot. I just have to upload it into my bin. Try to get rid of some of those hats. Okay, good to know. I got some number one. Yeah, we all do. It's DK, but I don't have enough. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to dibble and dabble. See how it all feels. And there's so many different yarn companies, just like crochet hooks. So many different companies making. But now that I know that my clovers are the best for me, that's what I pretty much try to stick with. So I will hunt down my clover hooks. I hate when I have to use something else. And now I can't find, what was this? I know I have a 2.0 clover. Where it is, I have nary a clue. It's overwhelming to say the least. Not a fan of Hobby Lobby, but Hobby sport weight cotton is nice for garments. But yeah, I bought that all that 4-weight yarn from Hobby Lobby, and I only go there when they have their sales for the yarn. I'm not gonna pay because they rotate every other week. The yarn is on sale. Do you have the jumbo plastics clovers too? The largest, I don't have it in here, but the largest clover that oh, wait a minute. Oh no, this is what is this one? What's the name of that? Oh, why can't I think of the name of this? Is it on here? It should be on here, you would think. There it is. Prime. Okay, this is a prime hook. My largest clover hook. LM. M? N? Do I have an N? I think it's an MN. Then I have some huge plastic hooks. I don't even know who made them. Do I have a Q? I might have a, or a P. I think those are like the largest ones that I have. I can't remember. Melanie says, yep, love my clover. I'm more, yeah, I'm more hooks. Yeah, because there are other hooks. Those flat ones, I can't even use them. I tried to. I had one, and I tried to use it. I was like, why can't I use this thing? Because I'm so used to rolling my hook, and when it's flat, I don't get the same thing. I bought this hook. I was on Claudette Crochet's YouTube channel, and she had a black and white one. I was fascinated with the black and white one, and I sent her a message. I was like, what are those hooks? But she never responded back to me. And then I was on probably somebody else's channel, and they said it was Prime, and I was like, oh, those are Prime hooks. So I went, as I always do. So I have this one, but I have a whole like 4 to 6 in the packaging. They're okay, but they're too long. And my clover hooks, for me, they fit perfectly. But see, this has just got way too much going on. I use it occasionally. I use all the hooks occasionally, but my clovers are my go-tos. I keep those are all my backups, just in case I can't find the clovers. I'll check out the HL yarn next time I go. I'm not paying full price either. Yeah, don't. It's not. They have 30. It's 30% off every other week. Their yarn is 30% off. Oh, you have 15 millimeters. Also, Valrita has a nice cotton. I don't know Valrita. That's a new name. I only use the clovers and some old clover knockoffs. I have the tulips. They're like kind of like clovers. I think Prime has some harder to find sizes, so I may end up getting some to fill in the gaps from Clover. Yes. Don't consider them fill in the gaps. Consider them your hook. Don't listen to me. Because some people don't like clovers, which I always like, what? Why you don't like clovers? As a pencil holder, furls are alien to me. Oh. And you know, people swear by furls. I've had, and furls are long, just like this one is. And the first one I had it for a while, and it was on the table, and it rolled off. And I have tile floors, and it just rolled off, and the head of it broke off. And it was one of those plastic ones. I was so ticked off. And someone said, "Oh, you should let them know." I said, "I've had this thing for well over a year. I know they're not going to take that thing back." And then I bought some other wooden ones. When they put them on sale, I bought some wooden ones, or bamboo. I don't remember what they were, but I sold those. I bought one of their metal hooks, and every time I used it, my wrist hurt. It was heavy. It was a heavy hook. And I was kind of glad that I found out, because a lot of people said that their Odyssey hooks are heavy like that too. So, and I always wanted the purple Odyssey. I always wanted it, but I'm glad I never got it, because, well, it was always sold out anyway. I never saw it when it was in stock. But when I got that metal one, ooh, I was like, this thing is heavy. I don't like heavy hooks at all. Let me see. I'd get the pink tulip set if I won lotto. You know, I looked at it, I was like, now when I bought my tulips, I didn't even see that pink set, because I would have gotten a pink. Matter of fact, one of the ladies that I followed long time ago, now I think she just does, I don't even know if she even does crochet anymore. I know she was selling that paparazzi jewelry, Glamour, Made with Love by Glamour. I think that's her crochet. But she had the pink tulips way back then. And at the time, I was still new to crocheting and stuff. But I think her husband had bought her a set. They were so cute. I was like, oh, that's cute, pink. But when I bought my tulips, I didn't even see that they were available. And then I think after I got mine, then I saw the pink ones, but it was too late. I was not going to go and spend money just because they were pink. No, ma'am. I love my clovers compared to the boy. The grip is so nice. Yes, that's why I like them. I used to put on her lives randomly. She was, yeah. I watched her for a long time, and then she just like disappeared for a while. And then next time I saw her, she was doing the paparazzi jewelry. And she's like, always had her nail polish, and she would tell you what the nail polish color was. And I remember when her I think it was her daughter had the granddaughter. I can't remember her name because she has an odd name. I can't remember her name, but and then the next thing I know, she was like a big girl. She wasn't a baby anymore. She was a big girl. And when I started watching well, now that I found it again, Deadliest Catch, the girl, her father owns the boat, but she's a captain as well. And now I know I was still able to watch it. Her when her and her husband got married, and now they got a baby, and I think she got another one on the way. Mm-mm. I love Deadliest Catch. Every time I have crab, I give honor to those men and women that went out there and caught that crab. Because I am not going to be on that ship. I get seasick just looking at the show. I'm like, I don't know how they can be out there for weeks on those boats going up and down, swaying. No. That's like seeing the Irwin kids getting married and having their own shows. Who are the Irwin kids? I don't know the Irwin kids. I was like, oh my goodness, she's a mom now. And one of the guys, I was really really shocked because when I saw that it was on Prime, and they had like the really old shows, and then I saw it was on Hulu, and Hulu had the newer shows. So I was going between Prime and Hulu to try to like catch up with the people because now they have new captains and people I don't even know who the heck they are. And one of the like their new pictures has this black guy on there, and then it has the lady. I'm like, who are these people? So the girl, she has her own boat that she had inherited from her father. Yeah, from her father. Her mom died when she was young. Then her dad died still when she was still young. And I don't know what they were doing with the boat, but now when she's older, she has taken possession because she inherited it. So she has taken possession, and now she's out there fishing, and her brother, he helps or whatever. And then the black guy that's in there now, he was on one of the other ships. Him and that captain didn't get along at all, at all. And then now he's on this other ship with this other guy, but his whole plan is to be a captain. I'm like, you got $2 million? I mean, they're those boats. I mean, maybe he can because you don't have to have your own boat. You can just be a captain for another boat. But those boats are expensive. And I watched the show. I'm like, do they ever have a season where the boat doesn't break down? Somebody doesn't fall into the water? I said, I know it's a show, and it's even though it's reality and entertainment, but the stress level has got to be unreal for these people. I couldn't. Oh, they're Australian. Oh, Steve Earth. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I forgot it. Yeah, Steve died way too soon. Way too soon. Yeah, his kids. They're big kids now. Yeah, they're the Aussie. Yeah. Brianna seeing women my age lust made my skin crawl because I remember when he was born. Oh my goodness. Oh no. He's still a baby to me. I don't think we have big of an age difference. I haven't even seen, probably because I don't get the Discovery Channel and all that, so I don't even know what they look like anymore. That is so crazy. Oh, the Steve Irwin. Oh my! I used to love. He was such a, and his daughter. It was so cute when the daughter was with him. Oh, what a loss. Such a nice man. Oh, I bet they are. Oh yeah. And I watch them, and then I go to Wicked Tuna. The Wicked Tuna isn't. I mean, there are risks out there. They're out there in the big old Atlantic Ocean, just floating in a boat. But their risk, um, to me, is nothing compared to the crabbers. And the crabbers, apparently, they had stopped them from catching crab. I guess they have to wait for the supply to come back or whatever. So then they went to cod fishing. So when I started watching, I was like, why are they catching cod? What is this about? And then they were talking about that they had, I think it's been like 3 years. It's a while when they stopped them from doing the crabbing. But when they caught the cod, those cod are humongous fish. Well, when I started watching the Wicked Tuna, because I'm just used to having tuna in a little can, I didn't realize tunas could be up to 1,000 pounds. They are huge. The first time they pulled one about, I was like, oh my God. I just never thought. I think I'm thinking tunas are the same size as a salmon. Maybe that's where my brain was, because I never even thought about how big is a tuna. And I don't know, but I was shocked the first time I saw it. Were you the person that said they like, I don't know what Seaspiracy is. What is that? You gonna have me watching something else I don't need to watch? They're doing the octopus. I think, is that octopus? Is that on? I don't know if that's on Prime or Netflix. I don't know if I want to watch that. Octopus creep me out. Rolling around, all them suction cups and turning different cups. They creep me out. And I know there's a shark, the Shark Whisperer. I think that's what it's called. But there's a lady from South Florida that's a part of that, and that's on. I think that's on Netflix too. But I haven't watched it yet. I'm not that interested in sharks. I know the tuna guys. One of them got. There's I can't remember what they call that shark, but he has a long tail, and that's how he knocks his food around, I guess. But one of the guys, because that's the other downfall, sometimes they think they got a tuna, but they really have a shark, and the shark tail came up and hit him. He had a big red mark around his rib area. What is that shark called? I can't think of it now, but it has a very long tail. So he did not catch a tuna, but he got hit by that shark. So at the end of the show, one of the other guys caught a shark, and he brought the tail of that shark to the guy that got hit by the shark. He's like, nah, I can't say this is the shark that hit you. He's like, I think it is. He put it next to him. It was so funny. But honey, that shark, what is that shark? I can't remember what it's called. I didn't finish it, but it's about labels they put on fresh. Oh. Oh, now I'm going to have to go and look for that. I believe it. I've always wondered why there isn't docuseries on welders, and then I remembered every other word would be bleep. Not very. Listen, those crabbers and and it's so weird. The crabbers get bleeped for every curse word. The tuna guys only get bleeped for the F word. They say all of the other ones, they only bleep them for the F word. I'm like, when did that happen? Yeah. Yep. Nope. To the octopus. Yeah. I kept looking. I was like, I'm not watching that. too doggone creepy crawlies for me. I'd be waking up in the middle of the night thinking one of them is on me. No, I do not like those things. Now they're pretty tasty cooked, but I don't want them. My friends and I went to I think it was for my birthday when I was in the army, and we were in Germany, and we went to a Greek restaurant. I was very disappointed, first of all, because they were playing German music in a Greek restaurant, and we ordered this platter. They put the whole octopus on the platter. I was like, no. I was done. I was definitely done after that. I only want the little crispies. I don't want the whole thing up there. Oh, me too, honey. I remember the first time I was in Germany then too. One of my friends, she was like, "Oh, you get some calamari." I was like, "What is that?" And she showed it to me. I was like, "Onion rings?" She was like, "No, it's not onion rings," because they're just in a little round circle like an onion ring. And I had it, and I liked it, and I've liked it ever since. And every time I go to a restaurant, that's my first appetizer I look for. I mean, a series on under. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. When I see the boats being fixed underwater, I'm always wondering, like, how is the fire working underwater? I don't understand that, but they do it. But those I'm telling you, those crabbers, that's some scary stuff. They get hurt so much. And the Coast Guard, oh my goodness, the Coast Guards, their job is of utmost importance for those guys out there in that ocean. And they had a lot of rescues. One guy, um, something must have broke loose, but his legs got crushed, and they had to airlift him, and it was high winds, and all I kept saying, please don't let anything happen. And then you hear when the boats sink, and a lot of course they all, it's a small community of crabbers, so they all know each other and stuff, and then you hear all mayday mayday, and they're looking for people, and one boat, I think like two people survived, and that's the sad part, but it happens. It definitely happens. And then they show them taking all the crabs off the boat, and the guys standing in the thing with the crabs. I'm like, aren't they crushing some of those crabs? But I guess not. And you cannot take no dead crab. That's they get kicked to the curb. You know for sure. How is the meadow bird in the sky? How is the meadow bird in the sky? I don't understand that. It is an electric current, but it's extremely dangerous. Mmm. Mmm. So that's just like that little lighter that I got that is not a flame. It's just you snap it, you click it, and you can light your candles with it. Which I kept looking at like, I don't know how this thing is gonna work. It doesn't, but I was so fascinated I had to get one. How many times have I used it? Twice, probably. So I have the melted candles, the wax. I hardly ever light a candle, but I have it because I was fascinated. See, that could have been one of the things I could have put into my Amazon cart and let it sit there for 30 days. And probably I would not have bought it, but I have it now. Because you asked how fire works underwater. Okay. I have a lot of questions in my head sometimes, and a lot of them go unanswered. But I don't know. Once I started watching The Deadliest Catch, I was so hooked on that show. And I don't particularly, need to see them catch another crab and all that stuff. I like to hear their stories, their backstories, and all that stuff. And I did not realize until this season that I'm watching now that the majority of those, I don't think any of them live in Alaska. Now that I think about it, because I know Wild Bill, whatever he's got a long last name. He lives, I want to say Colorado. I don't know. He lives somewhere else. And the guy with the daughter, with the husband and the baby, they live in Seattle, I think. But I don't know where the other ones live. And I don't know why. I just thought they all lived in Alaska. I guess maybe at sometime they probably lived in Alaska, but I think they go between the crabbing and then some other fishing that they do probably. Oh, you missed Dirty Jobs. I think I watched a few of his shows, but I think he's the guy. I think he's the guy that narrates Deadliest Catch. I might be mistaken, but I think he's the same guy that narrates it. I was watching it today. There's a guy on there. I'm thinking he's Native Alaskan, but he might not be, but I'm not sure. It was his 50th birthday, and of course he's on the boat. He got to do his job. And so the captain decided, and then this particular captain is a jokester. He loves to joke. He loves to shoot his gun. He loves fireworks. That's his thing. And so he got all the guys together except for the guy that was having the birthday. He was out there cleaning the boat. And so he told the guys, this is what we're going to do. He wanted somebody. Now, I always say this is when eggs were affordable, because now you wouldn't be playing like that. He said he wanted them to crush 18 carton of eggs on his head, and then the rest of them to throw flour on him. And then somebody was supposed to shoot off the fireworks and stuff. Well, it turns out the egg thing went okay. The flour thing went okay. But when they did the fireworks, it sparked. He caught on fire. The flour caught on fire. And lucky for him, I mean, he had a little first degree burns, like right over his eyes. And he went and dunked his head into the water thing where they usually put the crab. I just never thought that flour would combust into a big old flame. He was on fire. I was like, oh my God. I learned something. They learned something too. Don't mess with fire and flour. Yes. It is definitely too expensive. I think some of the guys are loggers as well. Oh, that could be it. Yeah. But I was like, that is crazy. That man caught on fire. I was like, don't play like that anymore. Now they know. Now I know. That's some dangerous stuff. The crazy things people do. I know. They didn't expect that. They were all shocked. Not I was he was really close to the little because the guy had the little firework thing, and he was right next to it, and he just went up in smoke. Flour is very flammable. It's dried out wheat. Yeah, the guy that narrated says fire is he said flour is how do you say uh a high carbohydrate something something is highly flammable. I forgot it, how he explained it, but I was like, whoa. Oh, carbohydrate sugar, because carbohydrates are nothing but turns to sugar. So, and I know sugar is very flammable, yes. So, but I never thought about flour being like that. But I'm glad he didn't get a real burn and have to be airlifted off of that doggone ship. So if you see a Coast Guard person, give them their props, even though they may not be the people that's out there saving folks, but they have a serious job, and they go out and do inspections on the boats. They do that. They did it on the Wicked Tuna. One of the guys, he was short, and they find him on the spot. He was short a safety suit. So I think he got a fine for that. They don't play. They about their business. The crab boat, they didn't have their ladder. They're supposed to have some kind of a ladder, and they didn't have it. So the son-in-law made one. It was a rickety one, but he made one because they had 2x4 on the boat. He took the rope, made big knots, and made them a ladder and banged it up on there so that the Coast Guard people have a ladder to come ashore. He was, and the captain was like, I don't want to go to Coast Guard jail. I said, these people are crazy. They have the stuff that they're supposed to know, though. They know what they're supposed to have. Just like I know I cannot crochet without a hook. I mean, you can do that hand crochet, but that's not going to get you no outfit. At least not one that's really nice. I've never even tried to do like what was that novelty yarn they had, that looped yarn that you could use your hands for. It didn't last very long. I don't know. I don't play around with that stuff. I like my crochet hook and my yarn. And yarn is not cheap, so you got to be mindful of what you purchasing. Coast Guard has to do the work of ocean, and save lives. Yep, they sure do. I have much respect for them. Anybody that's out there on the ocean, up there in the sky, doing dangerous jobs. But everybody's got to do something. I know for sure I would not be on no crab boat, and I wouldn't be out there on no tuna boat either. And I never even thought about the tuna boats not having bathrooms and stuff. Now the crab boats, they have bathrooms and showers. At least I think they do. But I can't even imagine how stinky it is. Not You got the ocean smell, and then the men are out there. They work 24 to 48 hours sometimes. Yeah, truth. No time for play. That's right. And I was thinking when I did my video about the yarn, and I was like, oh, you can get two two skeins from Dollar Tree. And I was like, wait a minute, that's $2.50. You might as well go get a full skein. After I thought about it, I was like, no, that's $2.50. Not, Dollar Tree. They need to change their name. I don't know why they haven't. They're not the Dollar Tree anymore. There's nothing in there for $1. Nary a thing. But they're good. It's good if you just need a skein of yarn. But then, now that I think about it, not really that competitive. Hello, loosened threads cotton. Was it? Yep, $1.94. See, and it's 300 and something yards, and the Dollar Tree is like 100 and something yards. So, yep, there's no bargain, no bargain. Because even their big, they're large. Because I went into one Dollar Tree, they actually had, I think they were pounders, and they were $5, and I was like, a good sale, you can get that for less. I think we all get $3 from a Dollar Tree. Oh my goodness, false advertising! Really? I missed that lawsuit. Mm-mm. Everybody's suing somebody. And I got I got hooked on that Epstein documentary on Netflix, Filthy Rich. I was shocked. Absolutely shocked. How he went for all of those years, all of those years, under the radar. And they're focused on Gayleen, but she wasn't the only person. When he got that first deal in Florida, there's I think four other women that was doing the same thing that Gayleen was doing, but they got a sweetheart deal, non-prosecution. They got to walk away scot-free. $1 and up tree. But nothing is $1 anymore. Everything's $1.25, $1.50, $3, $5. Interesting. So she became the example for some reason. And that's why I said I have to go back, because I don't understand. Because I was crocheting and doing that, and go look up again, and they would put a year up there, but they would scroll across to like the current year or something like that. So it kind of threw me off. But I was like, how did they go from this sweetheart deal to now just the two of them are being prosecuted? That's where I got confused. I was like, I'm gonna have to go back and figure that one out, because he got over. Let me see. Acosta gave them, this man, quote unquote, got 18 months in jail. He didn't have to stay in jail. He came and he went. All he had to do was pay the salaries of the deputies when he left the jail. When he got out, he broke every single last one of the rules for probation. Nobody put him back in jail. And the sheriff says, um, those were the parameters that we had. You know, he was a special person. He was important. He didn't say that, but basically, he was somebody. Because if he was nobody, his behind wouldn't have gotten 18 months. He probably got 18 years. Anywho, it was awful. Awful. Not under the radar, just paid the right ones and blackmail the rest. I would put money. Oh, yeah. That is, yeah, definitely. He got a hold on that other one too. There's a whole lot of, I say, when you are of the age, you have forgotten about a lot of stuff that you did when you were younger. A whole lot of stuff. And sometimes that stuff comes back to bite you on your behind. But when I watched that, and the girls that he recruited or she recruited, because he didn't have to go out and recruit. Maylene and her other women were out there recruiting, and these are young girls that lived in West Palm Beach in bad neighborhoods. They weren't wealthy, parents weren't wealthy, and they would pick them up from school. You know, they'll see them. It was just bizarre to me, but he would give them $200 and say, hey, if you know somebody, I'll give them $200 too. So the first time it happens, and a lot of these girls have already been exploited in some way, gone through some kind of a trauma, and, you know, hey, he giving me some money, I'll go back. It just blew my mind. But one of the girls that went in and talked to them and told them about how many girls that she knew that she brought into the fro. And the police officer said to her, you know, those are pretty serious charges. That's trafficking. And I was like, this is crazy. And when I heard Juju Chang say, a teenage prostitute, I said, see, that's what's wrong with media. That is what's wrong with media. It's always the woman that gets that red scarlet letter. It's always the woman. Ew. He was his best friend for 10 years. 15. 15. That idiot didn't forget. He thought he could gaslight the public. Do not believe it. 15 years. And it's so sad. This is all in public. I mean, but child, them people they out for blood. They want everything. Show us, show us, show us. More like the child victim. I know. There's some BS. That baby was a bit. I know. When I heard her say that, and the girl said, I can't believe they labeled me a prostitute. She says, I wasn't a prostitute. I was trafficked. I was like, I couldn't believe. I was like, the teenage prostitute. I said, that doesn't even calculate in my brain. Children are not at the age of consent. How can you put that kind of a label on her? Teenage prostitute. I was so. Somebody wrote that and she read it. And I think I think a lot of times people don't really, they just do their jobs. They just do their jobs. They don't really think about what they're saying sometimes. And I was so disturbed by it when I heard, and I probably heard it like the very first time it was said, but didn't, or maybe I didn't hear it. I don't know. because I'm thinking, because Juju Chan used to do Nightline, and I didn't watch every one of Nightline. I record Nightline, I don't even watch it. Every now and again, I'll click on it to see what, because usually whatever's on Nightline was on World News, so it's like the same thing over and over again. But I was just so disturbed by her saying the teenage prostitute, and that yucky man that's in prison now, Harvey Weinstein. The one girl. Oh, I'm not up on the royals, but is Prince Andrews the one that was married to Fergie? Because when they showed a picture, there was a picture of Fergie, and him and her were in the picture. I was like, is that who she was married to? I don't know the royals like that. But the girl that they kept showing that picture with him and that young girl, the girl that said that he sexually assaulted her, and she was one of the ones that was telling her story. And I think, was it her or was it another one? I can't remember now. But one of the ladies that Epstein had sexually assaulted, he wanted her to go on a trip to Africa with him. And she was like, of course, I've never been anywhere, going to Africa would be like a dream come true, blah, blah, blah. And so she thought she went from being the masseuse to being his personal assistant. And that trip had Chris Tucker. And I don't think Clinton was the president at the time. He couldn't have been. No, he wasn't a president then. But it was because it was for his foundation. When he did the AIDS Foundation, that's what the trip was for. So Chris Tucker, Clinton. Who else was on there? But one of those attorneys, one of those big time attorneys, one of the girls said that he had sexually assaulted her, and he says adamant, no, it never happened. I didn't do that. Dershowitz, I think that's his name, something like that. But when I saw Chris Tucker, I was like, ooh, I wonder how Chris feeling about this right now, because they are all on Epstein's plane. It's just like when I watch American Greed and I see all those rappers caught up in that mess. It's like, I wonder how they feel when they get caught up in, because a lot of them have been caught up with the crazy Ponzi schemes and the illegal goings on. But when people have money talks, people walk. I don't know. Not just consent age, but how about the fact that a child cannot be held in a contractual agreement? Isn't that required a verbal contract to be a part? That's what I'm saying. Now, if that had been her father, wouldn't he have been prosecuted for what's the word? Putting his daughter out for prostitution or whatever? It just blows my mind how it just rolled off her tongue. The teenage prostitute. Ugh. I was like, Juju, did you even read that before you said it? That would have made me so uncomfortable to say that. I don't know. I know people have their jobs to do, but there's got to be some kind of standard too. But I really, really felt, I watched that, my mouth just dropped. When I saw those 4 other ladies that nobody has ever said, heard, hear, nor tell of them, because when he went to court the very first time, and it was so funny, one of the what do you call it when they why can't I think of the word, when they depositions, when they had the one depositions, and the guy described his private parts from what one of the girls said. I cracked up, and he was so ticked off, and his attorney was like, we're done with this. It was so funny. I said they should do to him what they did to Michael Jackson, make him drop so they can show if that's true what the girl said. Belittle him like they did Michael Jackson. News outlet is probably owned by one of the. We see what happened to Stephen Colbert. Some women have major internal misogyny. I know. In her show, yep. We don't always take care of each other. We do not always take care of each other, and that's why some they asked Bill Clinton, and he wrote. I think he wrote it in his book. Why did you have the affairs or whatever? He says because I could, and it's true. If you can't get away with doing something wrong if there's nobody there to assist you. If you go in to rob a bank, and 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to try to stop you. But if you and the guard and the teller are all in cahoots, you're going to get away with it. And that's the same thing with that. There's so many dirty hands caught up in that. And his little St. James Island, where all the freakiness. One of the guys that used to be his like telecommunication person or whatever, he said, because privacy was very important to him on that island. So he took care of the big tower that he had for internet calls or whatever he did with that. And he was having a conversation. He had been there, I think he said like 5 to 7 years. I don't know. But he'd been there, let's say 5 years working, seeing all this stuff go on, seeing the young girls and all this. And the pool man was having a conversation with him. And he said to him, do you have children? He said, yeah, I have and I was thinking 21 and 15, but actually they were 13 and 15 years old. He says, would you let your daughters come to this island? He says, I wouldn't let my daughter 5 miles near Epstein. He says, after that conversation, the next day he quit. I said, sometimes it just takes somebody to go ding, ding, ding in your brain to know that you too are a party to, even though, they're not going to arrest you, but you are a party to all the goings on because you're seeing it. It's terrible. Just so much. So much. But that deal he got that first time, whew, it was absolutely a joke. Absolutely a joke. And I said, that's what happens. And all that, this is somebody that was a college dropout that taught at a prestigious school. One of the parents of the school was the CEO of Bear Stearns. And if you know what Bear Stearns is, it's basically a trading company. I think it's like a trading company for the Jewish people, because I think most of the people who worked there were Jewish or whatever. But definitely the CEOs and all of them, the big wigs, were all Jewish, and he's Jewish. Epstein is Jewish. But he saw Epstein and offered him a job at Bear Stearns, and he eventually got fired from Bear Stearns because he was crooked. He was doing something illegal. And then they found out that all of the stuff that he put on his resume was bogus. So then they asked him, well, why'd you do that? And he says, because I figured if I told the truth, then something would happen with the school, because the school accepted that BS resume. Craziness, just straight craziness. But in the midst of all of that, he hooked up with Wexner. And Wexner is the guy that owns Victoria's Secret. He's the L Brand guy. So he's Victoria's Secrets, Abercrombie and Finch. he had 11 companies at one time. And this is the man that really gave Epstein his wealth. And the guy that actually hired Epstein at Bear Stearns, they interviewed him too. And he says he wished he had did things differently because he would have never gotten to where he got to if he had stopped it back then. But as they always say, hindsight is 20/20. And he had free reign when he went to those Victoria's Secret things to be a perv. That was his other way of picking up women, telling them that he works at Victoria's Secret. And for some reason, that was the other thing. I don't know. Maybe my mind, maybe because I'm older now, because I don't know what my 20-something-year-old mind would be thinking. But that was a big to-do. Once, initially it wasn't. Initially, they couldn't get like real models to do the Victoria's Secret thing. But once they got the real models to do the Victoria's Secret thing, then it got really, really big. But I don't know. I guess you just have to be in a different mindset. Well, be very comfortable walking around half naked in front of anybody. I don't even think that was my mindset when I was younger. I don't know. I don't even want to go to the beach anymore because the last time I went to the beach, all them girls who had thongs on. I was so sick of looking at people's asses. No, thank you. Funny, Victoria's Secret is gonna slowly, yeah. And that was one of the things when I watched the documentary of the Victoria's Secret documentary is that when they had that Dove had that campaign about with the different bodies and stuff like that. And they tried to get him to have bigger models. And he's like, oh, we make stuff for bigger models or bigger people or something like that. But they said he was so out of touch. But, it might become the thing of the past. And one of the ladies in the Victoria's Secret thing, she's like, she just look forward to that coupon that you can get free panties. I think I walked into a Victoria's Secret and walked right back out. Just wasn't my thing. He didn't want to be like, what's the naughty store? Something Hollywood. I can't even think of the name of it now. There's one like in Miami somewhere. Now I can't think of the name of the place. But it's very sexualized. Oh, why can't I think of the name of the place? Something Hollywood or Hollywood something. I don't know. But he didn't want Victoria's Secret to be like that. But I'm like, you might as well. Fredericks, that's it. Thank you. He didn't want Victoria's Secrets to be like that. But as far as I'm concerned, and I thought, I was telling my friend about the documentary, and I said Juicy was the spinoff, but then when I watched it again, it's Pink. Pink is the spinoff for the teenagers. Ding, ding, ding. Teenagers from Victoria's Secret. So a certain somebody had a modeling company, and he had the teenage Miss America, or whatever the hell it was called, Miss Teenage something pageant. He was the host, and he could just walk in on them half naked. But I guess he forgot about that too. So when you put those young girls, teenage girls, in those provocative outfits, what really, what did you expect? You got them flaunting around just like you got the Victoria's Secret ladies, but now you got the teenagers pink. I said, mm-mm-mm. There is all this stuff. I mean, I tell you, documentaries tell you stuff you would have never even known unless you was a part of it. Here's my thing. I have been in adult stores that look classier than Victoria's Secret. So, yeah, I was quite turned off when I walked into that Victoria's Secret. I was like, really? This is like, because, you hear about it. And I said, well, let me go and look in here. And I walked in there, like, no. And then the girls are in there all trying to get those panties and stuff. They got this big old table and no, that is not my cup of tea. Do I have, oh, okay. I was going to say, I think I have my thing with my scissors. But I love me a good documentary. I love them. The stuff you learn, the people that you see now, and what they really were like back in the day. I trust no one anymore. These people can disappoint you left and right when you find out the real deal. Well, I never trusted any of them anyway, so. And Harvey Weinstein, it was so funny in the documentary. He denies all. I was like, yeah, but he's in prison right now. And that is where he's going to die. He's been from California to New York and back, I think, on both coasts. I felt so bad for his wife, though. I always feel bad for the women because sometimes they don't really know. Some of them know and just don't care because a certain somebody was definitely in all those pictures grinning with the rest of them. I do like Victoria's Secret perfume, but I don't buy until five for 40. How big is the thing if it's 5 for 40? I don't even know what Victoria's Secret's perfume smells like, so I couldn't tell you. I have my one Givenchy that I love, 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 and they don't even carry it anymore at Macy's because it's just that old. So now the only place that I've actually seen that I can get it from, I can go online and find it. And I found it one time. My bottle's still, I have probably a quarter left in it now, but I got it from Wally World. I was shocked. I was like, all right. And now I don't know if it's going to be there next time. But it's my favorite perfume. I bought Versace, and it smells kind of like the Givenchy Amarage. Oh, it's a body mist. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. That's a big. I had, whose body mist I had? Now I can't remember. Oh, that's so weird. I don't know. Somebody's body mist I had once upon a time. Now I can't remember what it was. Now that I work from home, I hardly ever put on any of that stuff. Nobody's going to smell me in the house but me. Don't waste your perfume sitting in the house. And I think a lot more of the malls will be closing as well, because Amazon trying to put everybody out of business. Oh, I don't think I've ever smelled that. Oh, hard to find these days. Yeah, they definitely. My mom used to love opium. I liked it too. And then she started having allergies, so that went out the window. Who's opium? Who made that? Now I can't remember who even made it. I don't even know what the new colognes are, because I don't go into the malls. I don't want to get sprayed. I think they stopped people from doing that. Now they just spray it on a little piece of paper for you to smell it. I think they had some people to have allergic reactions to all that spraying of stuff. It wasn't Calvin Klein. Who made that? I can't remember. Cannot remember. All right, I'm going to get off of here because I know there's got to be some kind of crime show coming on that I need to watch. It's a Jasmine Gardner. Oh, yeah. I think I'd like that too. So already, it's been almost 2 hours. And this is the first time I've been on this long by myself in a very long time. It's so early. Oh, it's so early. No, it's not. It's not. I'm gonna watch, see what crime shows on, because most of the crime shows I already set to record anyway, even though it's, yep, Yves Saint Laurent. Yeah. Yep. That's a name that we like. Halston is gone, Yves Saint Laurent. Who else was back in the day? Yeah, you don't hear those names anymore. I don't even know who are the big people now. I don't know. I don't know the perfumes anymore. I used to, what was the last perfume that I even knew about? I couldn't even tell you. I don't do my friend that used to drag me out to the mall. She lives in California now, so nobody drags me to the malls anymore. So, and she's been gone a very, very long time. So, and I used to go over to Boca Mall every now and again, but and I think the last time I went, they had changed different stores, and I was in there like, where'd that come from? Oh, Marc Jacob is the latest and the greatest. Okay. I think the only thing I isn't. I don't know. I don't even know what. I don't know any of this, because I don't. And the other thing is, like when you see the deals on like Good Morning America or whatever the afternoon part of, or PM America, whatever they call it, and then The View, they do their own like bargains of stuff. I don't think they ever talk about perfume and stuff like that, because they're not going to get no bargains on that. But it doesn't matter, because you got to be there to smell it anyway. But I need to get myself out there. I don't think I have walked into a mall in over 10 years. It hasn't been quite that long for me. I don't think it's been quite that long, but it's been a minute. The one, let me see. Yeah, I think that's it. At least that's the closest indoor, because the outdoor mall used to be an indoor mall, and then now they made it outdoor. So you can't go just walk in and go. Now you got to walk into each individual store, which I thought sucked to high heaven. And they put a lot of discounted, like they have Ross and Big Lot. What else is over there? Five Below. So they got some more discounted stores there instead of the upper scale. Boca Mall still has Dillard's and Nordstrom, Macy's. Do they have? Let me see. I said Dillard's, but do they have a Dillard's? No, I don't think they have a. Do they? I can't remember. Been too long. Now I don't know. Big Lots is good. Is gone. Oh, it's gone. Okay. Is it gone from here? I don't know. Let me see. Because there was a Big Lots over there at the mall. Our flea market, it was an indoor flea market. It is now closed. I didn't even know it was closed until I saw an alert pop up on the Ring community thing. And one of the ladies, I don't know why I'm saying lady, because you don't know if it's a man or a woman. You just know a number. But anyway, somebody says, when did the festival flea market close? And somebody responded back, oh, back in May or something like that, they said. And then somebody said that they're putting an Amazon distribution center there. I was like, there's an Amazon distribution center like a mile away. So, and that one there is huge. So I don't know. I don't know. But I guess they're going to put people out of business. Let me see, store locator. Palm Beach. Oh. Oh, they're in other parts of Florida. Let me see if I can just put in. Let's see, what's the closest one? Yep. Fort Myers, St. Cloud, Ruskin. I've never even heard of that part of Florida. I don't know where the hell that is. Braden. Spring Hill. I don't know where that is. Ormond. Crystal River. Jacksonville. Brunswick, Georgia. Oh my goodness. So I guess the ones in our area closed too. Tells you I don't get out much. Let's see. Malls ate too many people. Oh, malls are too many people. Okay. Well, I'm with what is happening with the crazy one. There's going to be a whole lot of places losing their businesses, and then it's going to hit the smaller businesses first. And I just found out that when I thought all of the Red Lobsters had closed, that now they're trying to hold on to whatever was still open. I was like, I thought they all closed. They have a new menu and all this stuff. I was like, Man, you should have put your money in something else. I'm telling you, after the pandemic, a whole lot of restaurants have really gone to ugh. We used to love to go to Benihana's for birthdays and stuff. Last time I went there, I was like, I don't think I'm ever coming back again. That's how I felt about Essence too, but that's because the music and the entertainment is not my cup of tea. So, but anywho, I'm gonna get off of here and go see what is the crime show and work on my project that needs to be done by my birthday. Wish me luck. I'm gonna need it. I'm halfway done. Halfway done. I might be able to do it. I used to like Applebee's. I now hate them. Applebee's has never been. Applebee's, Chili's used to be good. They're not that great. I haven't been there in a long, long time. I don't do much eating out anymore anyway. Because none of these the whole atmosphere of the restaurants, the people that serve you, the kids, they're all on their phones. Nobody's paying attention to you. You got to spend a little bit of money to get some good customer service at some of these restaurants. So you got to go to a better restaurant. Have a good rest of the weekend. You too. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a good rest of your weekend. And good luck, Brianna, with your crocheting. We are here for you. We are here for you. It's depressing watching Guy Fieri's show because whenever I look up the restaurants, they close. Oh, in 20. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, I just saw the report on his twin. I always call the girl his twin. Kim Beret. Is that her name? I'm sure I'm probably saying it wrong. But I was so sad to see that. I was like, oh my goodness, his twin is gone. Burrell, that's her name, Burrell. Annie, hope. Where'd I get Kim from? I tell you, I will give you a name. It may not be the right one, but I'll give you a name. Yeah, I was sad to see that. I was like, oh my goodness. She was so funny. I loved seeing her on shows. I tell you, this world is not for those that are struggling. Her, and every time I see that commercial on Prime with the guy that used to travel to taste the food and stuff. Oh, I get so sad when I see that. I said, he's long gone. I said, but we watch a lot of people that have passed on, and they just keep him going. Just like I still love Prince, and they're gonna do a movie about him or a play or whatever. I'm going. I'm going. All right, everybody, have a good rest of your day. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next Saturday. And I'm going to do a sale. I'm going to redo my sale on Tuesday, 8 p.m. on Whatnot. I just posted a video, a short video. Oh, MJ is going to have a movie? I didn't go to the thing that they had here when they brought his show here, but I heard it was great. I bet you it was. And Whitney Houston's too, the bodyguard. Oh, your uncle went. All right. Have a good rest of your night, everybody. Bye-bye.